둘, 셋,
안녕하세요, 반갑습니다.
네, 저희가 드디어 정규 40 랩 오브 더 소울 7을 발매하게 되었습니다.
야하! 타이틀곡 온이 틱톡에서 단독으로 12시간 먼저 30초 선공개되었었죠?
많이들 미리 틱톡에서 확인하고 다양하게 사용해보세요.
네, 타이틀곡 오는 또 다른 차원의 퍼포먼스를 보여줄 수 있는 곡으로 정신없이 달려온 7년.
Welcome beautiful. If you are new, please subscribe.
I'm big. Oink oink.
Just a brief explanation of this video. I haven't been to any BTS concert nor have I ever been to any fansign. The video you are about to watch is written by an anonymous user. The only thing I did is the editing. If you want to read it, the link would be in the description box. This video is completely unbiased, you will understand after completing the video, and by the way, RM, Suga, and Jungkook are my biases. I often wonder what BTS looks like in real life, but I haven't found any video that describes them as this person does. So I decided to make it into a video. Hope you like it. 2 hearts, purple heart, enjoy.
Let's get it. Let's gotta get it.
Disclaimer, I've been to 2 concerts, and as a lot of people may tell you, seeing them in person can have a tremendous impact in how you perceive them visually. Some look exactly the same as in pictures, whereas with certain members not even videos do them any justice, and once you see it with your own eyes, you can't unsee it. Another thing with seeing them in front of you is that you see all of them at once. Oftentimes we get to see this photoshopped, whitewashed pictures of their faces portraying them according to the soft, pretty boy beauty standard. It can be easy to forget that this image is artificially constructed to a certain extent. But when you see them standing there, sweating and smiling into a crowd, you're reminded that they are real men, not boys, but actual men in their mid-20s. Also, you see them as a whole, not just their faces but also their bodies, and somehow that does make them seem a bit different. I can't really explain it. Add to that certain boost factors like overwhelming stage presence, charisma, and swag, and all of a sudden certain members have a completely different impact than you could have foreseen. And the thing is, I repeat, once you've seen the truth, there's no going back. Having said that, for me personally, it messed up my complete list. From 1 to 7 everything was rearranged. 1. J-Hope. In the past, I often read of people claiming to come out of concerts with J-Hope as their new bias or bias wrecker, and to be completely honest, I always secretly thought it had to be BS. I mean, I always loved Hobie, but he never was my definition of a handsome idol. The whole tale just sounded like some sort of absurd propaganda, you know? But fast forward to my first concert, and yup, I'm one of them. Seeing him in the flesh changed my entire existence. I've literally, truly, never seen such a vast disparity between someone's visuals on a picture and their looks in real life. It's astonishing, and kinda unfair if you think about it. It honestly felt like I actually saw him for the very first time. I really don't know what it is, aura maybe? Or stage presence, heck even some kind of sorcery, but his beauty just doesn't translate on video. The closest, but still not close at all, might be an ego. Have you seen him driving that car? Besides that, his smile, man, it's literally like the sun. On stage, he had my attention the most, by far. The thing with J-Hope that set him apart for me was that he was everything at once. Awe-inspiring and sexy when dancing, cute and adorable when flashing that huge smile, incredibly charismatic when interacting with the crowd, intimidatingly hot and jaw-dropping when rapping, and extremely handsome when simply standing there. I went through so many emotions watching him perform. He really is a true entertainer, a natural showman born to be on stage, just through and through a total star, and during group stages, it was literally difficult to tear my eyes away, not just because of his overwhelming stage presence or the sheer amount of charisma he has, but those insane visuals that blindsided me completely. He left me utterly speechless. Wow. I could go on, obviously lol, he really had an impact. 6-1. But let me just finish by saying, if there's one word to describe this man, then it's got to be captivating. Or unphotogenic AF. 2. Jin. I get it now. He really is that handsome. He is slightly awkward with his lengthy body, but that makes him very adorable in a dorky way. You can tell he is the oldest. He has somehow this mature, adult presence that makes him even more attractive. He has a very nice frame and his face somehow glows. But yeah, when I saw his face the first time on stage, I had to pause for a second and catch my breath. It can't be overstated how tremendously good looking he is. And this might be off topic, but his voice, it's angelic. I did not anticipate being so blown away by that. 3V stunning. Although you don't need to see him live to know that. Nonetheless, he does look a bit unreal. He has this alluring aura about him that draws you in and makes you forget time. If you've ever found yourself enthralled by a piece of art, that's kinda how looking at him feels like. The thing is, I found myself less attracted to that ethereal type of beauty than I had expected. I know Jin and V are like the eternal visual battle in BTS, but I think it comes down to preference when you see them. Jin looks like an handsome man and V is like this mesmerizingly extremal stunning slender elf, or anime character as some say. For RM. Also kind of a shocker for me personally, seeing that I had him as the last pre-concert. RM's face is one of those faces that just look way better 3D. And especially seeing his head on his body made a huge difference. His body is perfect and he has such a powerful presence. He naturally exudes manliness like no other idol I've seen, like he commands respect when he walks past, you know what I mean? I feel like I can't really explain what exactly changed when I saw him, since on pictures he kinda looks the same, but he's just the fourth most attractive member for me personally. 5. Jimin. He is the cutest member. He looks a bit different than on pictures, he has a different type of appeal, but his overall appearance is just as baffling. I do think his demeanor has a lot to do with his as well, like he is the definition of a naturally likable, and when dancing seductive, person. I think it's noteworthy to point out here, that when someone has a charming way about them, it can add a lot in how attractive you perceive them. Also, he is much taller than I had expected. He really stuck out to me because of his body. I think it's absurdly beautiful, haha. I know that sounds strange, but that's how I remember him. I was so fascinated by his physique. I've never seen someone carry themselves that gracefully and elegant. He is endearing, charismatic, and magnetizing all at once. 6. JK. This is a preference issue. He is extremely manly like RM, but in his case, it's less of an inexplicable aura but rather concrete and obvious. If you didn't know them, you'd never guess him, of all members, to be the youngest. It goes without saying that his face is gorgeous and manly by itself. But what really caught me off guard was his body. This guy is huge. Of course, I knew he was ripped, but seeing him on stage was a different story. I didn't find him as cute as I had expected, but mainly attractive in a hot way, even when he was just standing there not pulling any particular facial expression, or when he was smiling or laughing wholeheartedly, he was mainly very hot. The thing is, this kind of dangerously hot type of attractiveness isn't my particular cup of tea. I'm also not a big fan of very muscular bodies, but that's just me. 7. Suga. I've always found him to have one of the most striking faces. Like it's so special, so interesting in a hard-to-look-away kind of way. Before the concert, he was my number 4. Now, it's not like I was underwhelmed by his visuals at all, but I was overwhelmed by the other members. It's very strange, he looks exactly like the pictures while still seeming completely different. But I do believe he is the most photogenic member. The difference per SE isn't less attractive, but he does look more normal while most other members look even more special or even otherworldly. I think this has a lot to do with his attitude and the way he carries himself. Until he starts rapping aggressively, then he radiates this intense I'm the boss energy that I personally think no other member can match, not even RM. Now, Suga is still obviously attractive and very handsome in a very particular way, but overall in the group setting, he didn't grab my attention as much, which says a lot since he's always been my bias wrecker. But it doesn't matter, BC when it comes to personality, this man is easily one of the most, if not the most, alluring members for sure.